This is KHQA News at 10, working for you.
Good evening, everyone. We have breaking news to bring you out of Monroe City right now, where an officer-involved shooting has taken place. Marion County Sheriff Jimmy Shin is en route to the scene. We are told that the man that they have been looking for all day is now in custody. Timothy Brooks, you're looking at US 24 at Elm Street. That's where we have been following a heavy police presence. It's unfolding as we speak. An ambulance showed up on the scene about 20 minutes ago. Now, our crew has witnessed a lot of activity, and you're looking at a man on the ground. We believe this to be Brooks, rather. Our crew says the officer and Brooks were put in the ambulances. They have not been transported to the hospital at this time, but let's give you a little bit. Look at this. Officers have their rifles drawn. They mean business. They have been looking for this man who has been wanted for kidnapping, murder, and an additional shooting. So a lot of activity going on in the Monroe City area right now. Now, this is a major development coming out of the Hannibal and Marion County and now Monroe County areas. Authorities have been looking for Brooks in connection with that murder, an additional shooting, and a kidnapping. It all started last night. Here's a look at the picture. Brooks is wanted following a shooting on County Road 432 around 7:15 last night. Deputies found the victim, Aaron Gouch, with multiple gunshot wounds to his abdomen. Here's what happened next. Just before 10 o'clock last night, here is video where Hannibal police responded. We don't have that video right now. We're actually looking at what happened tonight. They're getting ready to put the suspect on the stretcher. Well, once inside the home that they responded to, officers found one woman dead from gunshot wounds. And then police issued an endangered person advisory connecting Brooks to the kidnapping of 34-year-old June B. Smith. We spoke with Smith's father, and here's what he had to say earlier today.
Anybody can hear this, or Tim can hear this. Please let my daughter go. I just want to come back home safely. Thank you.
Not sure the status of Smith at this time. All of these developments are happening as we speak. But just to give you a little bit of background on what happened last night while in the 1100 block of Summer Street in Hannibal, we spoke directly with a neighbor who called 911. Mother Ashley Brumball was lying in bed Tuesday night after getting home from work around 9:20. Her children came running into her room saying there was a man yelling for help. Brumball says the man was her neighbor's stepfather.
He was screaming, saying that you need help, so I ran over next door and saw that there was a chick on the floor. So I ran back and got my phone and called 911 and went back over there and noticed that she was dead.
Now again, Brumball says her neighbor moved 3 months ago. Well, again, we want to reiterate a lot of heavy police presence going on in Monroe City. We would like to advise you to stay away from US 24 and Elm Street because police are taking that suspect into custody right now. There has been an officer-involved shooting. We'll have more information for you as those details become available. Switching gears to Quincy now, the Quincy Police Department says now is the time for its force to better reflect the community, and the police chief says hiring more minority officers is the first step to doing just that. KHQA's Jack Pluta joins us live in the studio with a look at how the department is reaching out to the community.
Well, Raja, Chief Copley held a meeting tonight to get feedback from the public about ways to best reach out to hiring more minority officers. QPD only has one minority officer in the force right now, and that officer happens to be black. Copley says that is not an accurate representation of the community.
If a police department does not, it's important in any police department for their makeup to mirror that of the community they're serving.
Quincy Police Chief Rob Copley says Quincy's population is 5% African American. Copley says having more than one minority officer within the department could better serve the community on a day-to-day basis.
It helps in some circumstances for a citizen to communicate with someone who they feel they have a connection to.
The Quincy Police Department will be looking to hire several officers this year, barring any funding cuts.
If there's no reach out.
Damon Dade, a Quincy firefighter, attended the meeting and suggested officers reach out and connect with area youth to get kids interested in police work.
Sometimes the only interaction they see is the hard part of the police work, which is apprehending people, and sometimes that doesn't fare well for people, and that's how they see them.
Dade and other community members in attendance agree that a more diverse group of police officers could not only benefit the community, but the officers who patrol the community as well.
It allows the Quincy community to get to know these officers, and the more comfortable they become with these officers, the better the relationship is.
Having that familiar face there to be able to look in your eyes and tell you, to settle down, whatever, or to speak with you, or feel that you even have an even playing field to even speak with that officer, it would help tremendously.
Now, the Quincy Police Department will start taking applications to fill those positions on January 15th. They will also begin agility and written testing on March 12th. Reporting live in studio, I'm Jack Pluta, KHQA News.
Thank you, Jack. Well, here's what's next for the search to find a new Adams County sheriff. The Adams County Board has tabled the appointment of a new sheriff until its next meeting. Current Sheriff Brent Fisher plans to resign to become executive director of the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board. Board Chairman Les Post says the state has yet to give Fisher a starting date for his new position.
Now, your 7 Storm Team first forecast.
And we're looking for a very mild overnight in comparison to where we've been the past few evenings. Here's a look at some of those current numbers out there where we're sitting in the mid to lower 30s generally for most of us. 34 at Hannibal. You can see 36 degrees right now at Macomb, or 36 degrees at Fort Madison. It's 30 degrees for you there in Macomb. South winds helping to usher in this warmer air at 5 to 10 miles per hour for most of us. Today made it up to around 37 in Quincy, but you can see those 50s off to the southwest. Those are going to be headed towards the tri-states as we go through the next couple of days. Maybe not getting quite that warm, but we will certainly feel it here, feeling like a heat wave, if you will, across parts of the tri-states, at least relatively speaking. Radar and satellite picture, you can see clearing out there right now. We are under the high pressure's influence, still a center of high pressure overhead. 31 tonight. Well, should stay mostly clear. Not as cold. A south wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And through the day tomorrow, we'll have the sunshine out there, and check out those temperatures climbing up into the mid to upper 40s. So we are talking about this warm up right now, but what's going to happen for the weekend looks like a big cool down. We're going to tell you about that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Jeremy. Well, here's what drivers need to know about traveling on Broadway in Quincy tomorrow. Beginning at 9 a.m., the south lane of eastbound traffic will be closed between 25th and 27th Streets. That's to allow for the repair of 2 water services in that area. 1 eastbound lane of traffic will be opened at all times. The south lane will be reopened to traffic by 5 p.m. Well, new at 10 o'clock, Hannibal police want to notify you about a phone scam. According to reports, residents are receiving phone calls from people stating they are from the Internal Revenue Service. The caller then tells the individual they owe the IRS back taxes, and if they don't make a payment over the phone, they will be arrested. You're asked to contact your local law enforcement if you receive any of these types of calls. Still to come on KHQA News at 10, find out about a new shot that can make achieving $1 million smile a reality. That's next on KHQA News at 10.
You're watching KHQA News at 10, working for you.
We want to go live now to that situation happening right now in Monroe City. You are looking at an officer-involved shooting that has taken place. A lot of activity. Marion County Sheriff Jimmy Shin is on the scene, and we're told that the man that they've been looking for all day is now in custody, Timothy Brooks. He was wanted for murder, an additional shooting, and a kidnapping that all started last night. Now, this scene right here, you're looking at U.S. Highway 24 at Elm Street. That's about a block away from the Bel Air Motel, and that's where we've been following a heavy police presence. It's unfolding as we speak. An ambulance showed up on the scene about 20 minutes ago. And our crew has witnessed a lot of activity, as you can see earlier this evening. You can see the suspect. We believe that to be Brooks. He was down on the ground right there with his hands handcuffed, and we're going to see him put on a stretcher a little bit later in this video. Our crew says the officer and Brooks were put into the ambulance. They have not been transported at this time, but we've been following this. Look, as you can see, authorities have their rifles drawn. When we followed them from Hannibal to Monroe City, they received a call that this man was in Monroe City. So anyway, we will bring you all those details as they become available because it is developing right now. Here's what's happening in Iowa. Chief Justice of the Iowa Supreme Court, Mark Cady, gave his State of the Judiciary address this morning, and he called to protect children in juvenile courts, fight human trafficking in Iowa, and end racial disparities by training judges to recognize biases in the judicial system.
Our journey to identify and eliminate racial disparity continues for all of us. When racial disparity and all of its causes are eliminated, justice will be achieved.
Now, Chief Justice Cady says more than 700 judges, magistrates, and other judicial branch staffers received training last year to help them recognize implicit biases that might contribute to racial disparity. Also in Missouri, Louisiana plans to seek voter approval April 5th of a 3/4 cent sales tax increase. That would generate about $270,000 a year. Now, the money would be spent on citywide repairs with the immediate focus upon Georgia Street. Sewer, water systems, and park improvements also would be included. The City Council is still working out the ballot language and plans a special meeting on January 20th. Well, new this week in agriculture, many producers could lose money this year, and that is because declining crop prices and steady input costs. The last time period that soybean prices were similar to today was in 2009. University of Illinois Extension educator Mike Rogie says there aren't a lot of areas that can be cut. He says land, fertilizer, and seed expenses are probably the 3 largest costs. Well, if your New Year's resolution is to finally do something to improve your smile, it might be easier than you might think. A simple shot at the dentist office is making a big difference for many these days. Our medical reporter Liz Bonas tells you about it in tonight's Medical Edge.
Shanice Lawrence says she spent years wearing braces for a better smile.
Even though I got compliments on it every day, I wasn't satisfied with it.
Eventually, she went from this to this. Quite a different picture. But not quite the one yet she wanted to see. Not because of her teeth, but rather her gums.
I feel like sometimes I do show more gum than teeth because my teeth are smaller than I'd like them.
So Shanice consulted Dr. Fred Peck. He's a cosmetic dentist. He said he could help her improve that gummy smile. His solution? This simple shot. The poison that paralyzes, known as Botox.
Today what we're going to do is we're going to adjust her lip positions.
Dr. Peck says that Botox, normally known for reducing wrinkles, can simply relax the upper lip enough to cover a gummy smile.
The Botox prevents the muscle from firing, so the muscle that's going to lift her lip all the way up just won't be active and won't be firing.
Sure enough, about 2 weeks after just a few Botox injections,
we don't want lips to droop or eyelids to droop or things like that.
Shanice has quite a different picture of success. And Dr. Peck says it's a picture getting pretty popular due to Botox these days.
In addition, however, to using Botox for this purpose, he points out there are a couple other things that could make a big difference if you either need medical attention or need help. You get pain from TMJ, you might be able to use Botox. If you have headaches from that, or even teeth grinding now, this could make a difference.
I can use it to treat patients that clench and grind, and also TMJ pain and migraine headaches.
Whatever the reason, Shanice says she's smiling a lot more these days. If you thought a picture's worth 1,000 words, she says, going from this to this to this.
I mean, a smile is worth 1,000 words, so it's great when you can smile and not have to worry about how you're looking.
Well, here's a look ahead to tomorrow night's Medical Edge. One woman's pain ended up becoming a miracle in disguise. Tune in tomorrow night on KHQA News at 10 to find out how a trip to the doctor became a matter of life and death. Well, city money is now on the way for Keokuk Area Hospital. Mayor Tom Marion says the city council approved more than $111,000 to secure around a $150,000 match from the state. That money is coming from a disproportionate share fund. Hospitals with high numbers of Medicaid and uninsured patients are eligible for assistance from that fund. The hospital is also seeking help from Lee County. Now we're going to take a look at your Powerball numbers. If you could bring them up there. 8, let's go, 27, 34, 4, 19, and the lucky Powerball is 10. I hope you won. Remember your friends at KHQA.
Yeah, and I didn't hear anyone screaming here at the station, so I don't think we have any winners here in-house. Well, as far as those temperatures are concerned, we are talking about some winning numbers. They are climbing up into the 40s tomorrow, but the heat wave will not last for long. The bottom's going to drop out on these temperatures in a few days. We'll talk about that next.
You're watching KHQA News at 10, working for you.
Let's take another live look at Monroe City where Marion County Jimmy Shin Sheriff says that the man that they've been looking all day for is now in custody. Timothy Brooks, he was wanted for murder, an additional shooting, a kidnapping. We're not sure about the kidnapping victim at this point. You're looking at U.S. Highway 24 at Elm Street. That's where we've been following a heavy police presence. Now, our crew has witnessed a lot of activity. We are told that the officer there was an officer involved shooting. The officer and Brooks has been taken away by ambulance. We spoke with a local resident, Stacy Swearingen. She says she saw Brooks inside a gas station and a Family Dollar store with a female. She says she saw that female then go inside the Family Dollar store to use a phone.
And I told my son, I'm like, I think those are the people that they're looking for. And so we was trying to pull it up on the news to see, and I showed him the picture of her, and he's like, Mom, that was her. And so he's like, well, go see where they went to. And so we went around the building and then came back, and I went back in and told the girls from at Family Dollar to call the police because I believe those were the two people they was looking for.
And again, that suspect is now in custody, and try to avoid the U.S. Highway 24 and Elm Street in Monroe City right now if you can.
Now, your exclusive 7 Storm Team forecast.
Our Sleep Tight weather view this evening takes us to a look into outer space, a new look at the ringed planet in the solar system, Saturn. NASA released this new picture showing some high-res images, some neat things there. Here in the Tri-States, we're talking about a big warm-up. You know, today we were in the upper 30s. Right now we're in the mid-30s area-wide. We're going to do better than this over the next few days. 34 at Quincy, 31 at Macomb. Across the Tri-States tonight, I think we'll fall off probably back to around 31 degrees in Quincy, 35 down around St. Louis. And you can see some mid-30s across the region. Tomorrow, though, check this out. We've got some warmer air to the south, bumping up that temperature at Springfield, Missouri to around 60 degrees. And you can see those warmer temperatures are what is getting pushed in to the Tri-States as we go through the next few days. Now, the forecast of ocean, we're losing the influence of high pressure off to our south and east here. And as that happens, we'll start to watch some increase in clouds. But as we go through our Thursday, we're going to stay clear tomorrow. Again, we're starting to see those temperatures warm up with that south wind, but we're watching a cold front back off towards our west. That's what's going to be pushing in as we go through the overnight and the evening Thursday and into the overnight hours into early Friday morning. And along this cold front, we'll start to watch some clouds develop late tomorrow night and maybe some showers late tomorrow night into early Friday. The clouds will be with us Friday and a big blast of cold air. It is going to get very chilly as we get through Friday. We're getting back to those very bitterly cold temperatures we've seen. Temperature map you can see here taking us through Friday. Temperatures are going to begin to fall Friday afternoon and evening. You can see some of these teens and single digits pushing into the Tri-States as we get towards Saturday. So you'll want to bundle up for sure early Saturday morning. 31 tonight, not as cool as we've been the past few evenings. Very mild tomorrow, above average temperatures. A southwest wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 36 degrees tomorrow night. Increasing clouds, some rain possible late as that front moves in. And over the next 7 days here, you can see we're going to clear things out tomorrow. But then as we go through, again, Thursday night, Friday, we'll have some of those shower chances. And then as we get into later this weekend, also some light snow chances as well. 27 degrees Sunday, on Saturday, 15 degrees on Sunday, and those very chilly temperatures will be with our overnight lows in the single digits, so bundle up for sure.
And we're told that we have a Powerball winner, but we'll see who it is later.
We'll see if they'll come forward.
All right, we'll be right back.
Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
Well, with a win tonight, the Central Southeastern Lady Panthers would claim a spot in their own tournament title game on Saturday night. But that was only part of the attraction. The main event was CSE assistant coach Jessie Baucom, who with a national network news camera crew in town to chronicle her triumph over Down syndrome, was honored for her contributions to the Lady Panther program over the past 23 years. Much more on that tomorrow, but there is your Lady of the Hour, Miss Jessie, greeting the other team, in this case Lewistown. And early on in this game, it was all about the freshman in this one early on. Lainey Lance doing what she does. She had a 16-point night tonight. She was ably assisted. Check out Colby McClellan stepping outside and showing off the long-range jumper. She had 23 and then more for Miss Lance, and Miss Lance was seemingly everywhere in the first half. It was second half defense, though, that fueled Central Southeastern to the win tonight. They would hold Lewistown to just 18 points as the Lady Panthers get it done. 54-31, they are on to the title game against a yet-to-be-determined opponent. It could be the Unity Lady Mustangs, who are taking on West Hancock. They would need to beat West Hancock tonight, beat Havana tomorrow. Off to a good start in that cause. Claire Raby posting up, her team up 19 at this point and looking for more. How about some Kaylee Kuhn action right here off the beautiful pass? Right there, beautiful stuff from Miss Jordan Hildebrand. West Hancock trying to keep pace, trying to climb back into this one. Kelly Rosskamp with a nice jumper there, but Jordan Hildebrand had 21 points on the night. Unity wins in a blowout. They will take on Havana tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. If they win, they will take on Central Southeastern for the championship coming up on Saturday. In the third place side of things, Illini West trying to stay alive. Bailey Clampett channeling her inner Josie Finch in this gym, knocking down jumpers right and left all week long. She had 15 more tonight. Quincy High School trying to answer back in this one. Jada Humphrey doing some nice work here off the dribble drive and the pull up. Just too much of Illini West. They had about a 9-point lead at this point. They're going to extend. Connor Smith with the pretty move, and then it's Brianna Grotz doing likewise as well. Illini West wins tonight by the final count of 44-30 over Quincy High School. Brown County taking on South Fulton tonight. Carl Beebe's crew trying to contend with Mariah Markert right here with a pretty kiss off the glass. Too much, though, of South Fulton. The Lady Rebels riding Mackenzie Coulter in the second half, or the first half, I should say. Second half, they kind of blew the doors open on this one as South Fulton gets the win, 65-54 to move on. Meanwhile, Rushville Industry on the boys' side tonight. Consolation quarterfinals over at the Winchester Invitational. Manning Plater about to show out and do Manning Plater type things. And this one had a monster game tonight, as he usually does. Unstoppable at 6'5" in the low blocks. Later, Max Steinbaker trying to answer for Grigsville Perry with a 3. He had a double-double tonight with 12 and 10. Just too much of Manning Plater. 28 points tonight, 9 rebounds. He had a huge third quarter in this one. And then in the first half, it was all about Ryan Ward, who had 3 first-quarter threes, as Rushville Industry leaves no doubt about it tonight, winning by the final count of 67-42. Elsewhere tonight on the docket, more consolation quarterfinal action. Rout hangs on to beat Triopia behind a big night from Hunter Chumley, and it was Porta advancing to take on Payson Seymour on the championship side of things. That game will take place in the semifinals coming up on Friday night. Also, a wrestling score to pass along. Mexico, too much for Hannibal tonight. Final count in this one was 57-15. Well, she is incredibly versatile, and she is quicker than a hiccup. Those are two things that have served Canton's Emma McKinstry very well, giving her a load of choices moving forward with her college career as to what sport to play. She chose the one nearest and dearest to her heart, and the college right in her own backyard.
Brings a natural talent of athleticism and quickness, and she's someone that has played pretty much every sport under the sun. So we feel, when we get her up to Culver and she focuses in on soccer, she's going to develop quickly and could end up being a really big asset for us.
I've been playing soccer since I could walk, and it's just a really big part of my life. I've spent countless hours on the field, and it's my love, so that's when I wanted to continue to play. And I decided Culver because it's close to home, and my family's going to be able to watch me play, and I really like Coach Thomason's coaching style and the success the program has had the past couple years.
Basically, the way that we've recruited in the past is we've recruited speed, and so we know how to play with speed. I know how to coach with speed, and we know how to utilize it on the field. So, we plan right now to use her as a forward and to get her behind the defense and to get us some goals.
Nicely done, good sir.
And also on the docket tonight, no good news anywhere in college basketball. All of it JUCO. The John Wood men lose to Division I Southeastern Community College. Good game for them, though, 75-68. Also, ICC blows out John Wood on the women's side tonight. John Wood was outscored 32-2 in that second quarter. And a tough loss at home tonight for Southeastern Community College as Jerry Jerome's team loses to a good Iowa Central team in overtime. 75-65 is your final. We'll have more news for you coming up after this.
We leave you with a live look at US 24 and Elm in Monroe City. That is where an officer-involved shooting has taken place tonight. We are told that Timothy Brogues, who has been wanted all day for murder, a shooting, and a kidnapping, is now in police custody. He's been taken away in a stretcher and an ambulance, as well as the officer. We do not know the condition of either. We do not know the condition of the woman that he supposedly kidnapped. We will bring you more details as they become available. Thank you so much for joining us, and have the very latest on KHQA.com. Have a great night.